Welcome to Kitchen Chat and the special series, A Taste of Luxury, History, and Hospitality. This is your host, Margaret McSweeney, and today we are going to visit two iconic and delicious destinations, Saint Tropez and Palm Beach. I'm excited for you to meet my dear friend Caryn Antonini. Our mutual friends, Max Tucci and Jennifer English, introduced us. Caryn is the founder and host of Cultivated by Caryn, a podcast and radio show. She is honoring her late father through the language of food. She even gave a TedX Talk about that topic. How fun and unexpected that we were both in the south of France at the same time last summer. I was on a culinary adventure with Chef Sharon and friends at a lovely villa in Antibes. I even filmed a kitchen chat with Chef Lee Burton in front of the villa. Make sure you check that out. How wonderful to explore the farmers markets, beaches, and learn all about the history while I was in Antibes. It was so special to meet up with Caryn in Saint Tropez, where we explored the farmers markets there and enjoyed a fantastic lunch at the historic Senequier. Oh, and of course I ordered the crêpe Suzette, which was served tableside with the flambeau and a beautiful presentation. Well, last December, we filmed our kitchen chat in Palm Beach, a place that is special for both of us and our late fathers. We met up with my friend Nancy Davis, founder of Race to Erase MS, for lunch at Cafe Boulud and the Brazilian Court. Cafe Boulud, of course, is a fabulous destination, and the Brazilian Court is very meaningful to me since that is where my rehearsal dinner was held. My dad had planned the whole menu, and I recall he chose the Cornish hen as the main entree. Special memories there. So let's welcome Caryn Antonini to Kitchen Chat, a taste of luxury, history, and hospitality. First of all, and I'm going to try to get through this without crying, Caryn, we're both honoring our fathers, and she lost her dad recently, and as you all know, I do Kitchen Chat to honor my late father, and it just seems surreal. And I think it was meant to be for us to have the kitchen chat in Palm Beach, because my dad was president of Palm Beach Atlantic, then college, now university, and your parents, of course, live in Palm Beach, and they both had such a major impact, our fathers, on our lives. And I know you are honoring him through all that you do. And I just wanted to say aloud and recognize that special celebration. And I just feel very close.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
But your father and my father both loved food, entertaining, all of that. Can you share with us how he has influenced you in this next chapter that you are doing?
Oh my goodness, so, in so many ways. Yes. So my dad was a big, I guess, foodie. We would wake up in the morning and we were just having breakfast, and it was generally very early, and he would say, well, what are we going to have for dinner? And I mean, it was every day, planning it out. And when he was home, like I said, he traveled so much, and on the weekends you could find him in the kitchen, and he would make this wonderful minestrone soup, and he would have all the vegetables in these mugs and just chopped up, placed in mugs, all these different vegetables. And this was a recipe that his mother had given him and just passed down through their family. And I mean, gosh, pasta, all sorts of dishes that he just loved it. And it was very therapeutic for him. I could see that, having, his job was really demanding. And so really he influenced me in so many ways in the kitchen, and his love of food. When we'd travel, we would land on the airplane jet lagged, and he'd say, we've got to go to this restaurant. And he was so excited, and you could see it. And we were behind him, my younger brother, and we were dragging and trying to find this restaurant. And oftentimes, if it was August, the restaurant might be closed in Rome or somewhere. So we had a lot of food adventures. We'd have to find something else, but he always knew backups. And my mother as well was always in the kitchen and always pouring through cookbooks and sharing that with my father, which is a wonderful way to connect through food, of course, too.
It is, and connecting the language through food as well, and that is a passion for you. Can you share with us what all is going on with that?
Yes, so I actually just did a TEDx talk on the universal language of food and how it really brings us all together. And, in our heritage, it's so much a part of who we are. And a lot of times I don't think we think about it. And of course, in the United States, we have a melting pot of people. But what I find really special is to share, these family recipes like the minestrone, like this torta, this cake that comes from my family in Asiago. And just to share that with people, or just other recipes like family favorites that we have. Like my mom for Christmas morning will make popovers, and that's, my kids are saying, oh, are they going to make the popovers? And so there are all sorts of really wonderful things, and it's about us bridging our cultures through food at the table. You are all together. It's an intimate act to share food with someone and to break bread. And it's also, I just think we're losing the art of cooking and the impact of dining together. And it's really important because yes, everyone's busy, and sometimes we're in the car and you're on the way to somewhere and they have to eat something, the kids, but I really try, even with my own children, to sit down every night, even if I'm eating later or going out, to eat with them and engage them as well and say, okay, guys, like my dad, what are we going to make for Saturday or Sunday? Usually Sunday's the day we know it's a bit more not labor intensive. Most of my recipes are pretty simple, but and to get them involved and they get excited about it and have input. So in the language of it, I think it really, there's so much through our own cultures and heritages that it reflects all that, and I think it's important to retain that.
Yes, and they can learn an additional language through foods, and other cookbooks and from different countries. So many things.
And the terms, even the cooking terms, or just saying it in the right way and in the language. So it's so important right now with all the technology, which is wonderful, but we do need to really sit down and communicate.
We do.
And eat together. And I see this in different cultures, and that's why I love going even to Italy or France. And they, a lot of different cultures, and they make the time to do that, which is, I think, so important.
I love that. So the table is the bridge.
To our cultures.
To our cultures. Yes. Beautiful. You'll have to watch that TEDx talk. I can't wait to watch it. Please go to her website to see some of the great cooking videos. And if you could spell it out for everyone.
Oh, sure. It's cultivatedbycaryn.com, and that's Caryn.
Yes, and great resources. I love seeing the recipes you prepare, and just a wonderful place to visit. And speaking of delicious places to eat, and I'll send pictures, foodie friends. We're going to have lunch today at Cafe Boulud together here in Palm Beach. I'm excited about that.
Excited.
And you just recently interviewed Catherine Gage Boulud.
I did.
Chef Daniel Boulud's wife, on your Cultivated by Caryn podcast. Share with us some of the highlights from that.
Catherine is amazing in her own right. Of course, her husband is Daniel, but Catherine is actually a very accomplished chef and started at Cafe Boulud here in Palm Beach, which is really interesting. I think it was her grandmother inspired her. Well, first of all, Catherine just had such a love of food and cooking growing up, and inspired by her own mother, and was always making wonderful dishes for her friends while living in the city in Manhattan. And then ended up coming down here, and her grandmother said, you know, there is a cooking school nearby. Perhaps you'd like to try that. And she did, and really excelled, and then began because she needed to work and apply her techniques, and started at Cafe Boulud, and then really went around the world, to Bali, to France, I think Spain. And yeah, that was a really great, really wonderful interview. She's a special person and very, very involved. Believe she's the vice president of Spoons Across America and on the board. And that, talk about helping children. Yes. That's really important. So that was a wonderful interview. And I actually interviewed Chef Dieter Semaine, who is the chef at Cafe, the executive chef at Cafe Boulud, who is fabulous and has a wonderful story too.
But we do have to quickly chat about Saint Tropez, because that was such a highlight to first meet you there. The fresh market. Can you share a little bit about that?
This was the one that we went to, was just down from where my cousin and her family live, and it's just beautiful. I think it's every single day it's open, and until about 12 or 1 o'clock, and everyone is there. Everyone's going to get their produce. They have all their beautiful flowers, and they actually have a cheese shop right there in that little square, which is it's not part of that market, but everyone goes to get what they need for lunch and for dinner. The seafood in the hall there. And this is all in the old town of Saint Tropez, which I believe is so special. And I would go there every day and chat with the people.
Wasn't there some markets here too, though, in Palm Beach
there
you
are.
enjoy?
Oh my gosh, the green market is incredible. Oh yes, we definitely have that. Yes. So that is tomorrow, I believe, and I'll be going there, and their produce is amazing, and all their flowers, and there's amazing guacamole, and actually a spice guy that I love. I get all my spices there, and I made ginger cookies recently and put extra ginger, and you can taste the difference. It's just amazing. So.
I love that. And speaking of tasting the difference, what was the name of that wonderful cafe?
Oh, Senequier. Senequier is right on the quay, right there in Saint Tropez, overlooking the yachts, but it is just, the food was exceptional. That was a wonderful lunch.
Oh, and it was especially celebratory because we had crepe Suzette.
Yes.
And that was my dad's favorite dessert in France, and it brought back such sweet taste memories.
Yes.
And they came to the table and prepared that. That was very,
special.
Very special. So thank you for introducing me to Senequier. And this is a celebration. Food is a celebration. Life is a celebration. I encourage everyone to find your joy, live your joy, taste your joy through foodie experiences and listening to podcasts, to Caryn's new Cultivated by Caryn show. Thank you so much, Caryn Antonini, for this very special kitchen chat. Make sure you visit kitchenchat.info for a link to her Cultivated by Caryn podcast. She also shares a delicious family recipe for us to enjoy. Thank you, dear foodie friends, for joining me on this new Kitchen Chat series, A Taste of Luxury, History, and Hospitality. Let's taste and travel the world together. And always remember to take a moment and savor the day.